Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about Cam Johnson in particular and his move to the Nuggets. I think this is going to be a tremendous move for both the Nuggets and for Cam Johnson. Before we begin, though, this is the first video I've recorded since hitting 1,000 subscribers, so I just want to thank you. I appreciate you all and hope life is treating you wonderfully along the way. So the first thing when looking at Cam Johnson is I want to compare some similar players, in particular three-point specialists, and how they interacted with Jokić versus without Jokić. So if we look at Bruce Brown and KCP, who are the two most recent examples of three-point specialists that left the Nuggets, Bruce Brown went from 36% with Jokić to 31% without Jokić, three-point shooting percentages. KCP went from 41% to 34%. So both of those, the most recent examples, show that Jokić creates better shots for players, and I believe that is exactly what's going to happen with Cam Johnson. So we'll get to threes in a second, but I want to talk about other aspects of Cam Johnson's game first. And the first one is cutting. So cutting is obviously something that involves Jokić or the Nuggets a lot, simply because of Jokic's passing ability. Now, the Nets didn't have an offense that focused on cutting that much simply because they didn't have the kind of passers that the Nuggets have, frankly. But Cam Johnson still was able to cut given the opportunity. Also, while definitely not being the leading ball handler for the Nets, he still showed himself capable in driving and getting to the paint. And especially when you have examples like defenders closing out too aggressively, he was able to punish them by getting by them. But then the first area that really gave me a lot of hope is looking at him in transition. And he's not just like a crazy athlete, but he's a good athlete, and he understands the nuances of transition very well. Because Denver looks to push the ball so aggressively, this creates a lot of opportunities. So we see the Nets getting the ball out early, and Cam Johnson giving the offensive player space, so giving him space where you have 1, 2, 3, and then one defender going to create opportunities in the middle, and Cam Johnson does a great job flowing to the rim. And sometimes with good three-point shooters, you'll see them just gravitate to the outside, and so it's good that you see him attacking the paint as well, because it shows he's a multifaceted athlete for sure. But then the real area we're going to see Cam Johnson shine almost for sure is these kick-out threes. Jokić loves to post up down in the short corner one side or the other. So while these kick-out threes aren't going to be the same because the Nets don't have the same style of offense, simply showing that kick-out threes are going to happen and Cam Johnson well behind the line, and he shot it last year at 39% on high volume. So these kinds of threes, like that distance behind the line, is no joke. You have to respect him way out there, and he's going to get those shots. Teams are going to double Jokić. They are going to cause rotation. And if you give Cam Johnson space, he is going to make a lot of threes this year. Because even with good rotation, he's still a good shooter. This is the Cavs doing a good job on defense. Garland does a good job moving out and contests it late. Yeah, it's a little bit late, but simply he is going to shoot the ball aggressively. And the extreme gravity that you're going to have because he's willing to shoot it so far beyond the perimeter is going to open up so much for Jokić and Jamal Murray as well. So then if we look at examples from last year of the Denver Nuggets doing the same thing, any transition opportunities whatsoever, Denver is looking to push the ball, and Cam Johnson is going to look to fill in that role, similar to Michael Porter Jr., but maybe a little bit more athletic, a little bit springier. And so there, he's going to be a good complement to that. Again, turnover. And this one, we're actually watching Michael Porter Jr. And so this is the example where I think Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. are different, is Michael Porter is going to settle for the shot. Cam Johnson, I don't think he settles for the shot. I think he drives to the rim and gets a foul or a finish at the rim, even despite him being able to shoot it as well as Michael Porter on the outside. And then the threes. All of these kick-out threes are where Jokić thrives, and frankly, Russell Westbrook's obviously a different kind of player. But this gives one of two things. One, it either gives Cam Johnson openings on the perimeter, or it makes this defender guard him, and so Jokić has more space on the inside. Either way, it's a win for Denver's offense. So as Jokić drives here, we're going to see essentially the defense go into rotation. And frankly, this is Daniels. For as good a defender he is, he's a little slow in this rotation right here. He needs to rotate to Michael Porter. But any lapse in the defense, as Porter hits this shot, Cam Johnson is going to hit that shot as well with probably higher volume. And this is the thing. If you're going to have Jokić as well as Jamal Murray and hopefully Hardaway and hopefully Bruce Brown, you're going to have shooters on the perimeter, maybe even Aaron Gordon in that group as well. And so you're going to have good spacing on the perimeter. So when Jokić makes passes like this, either Cam Johnson or Jamal Murray or Bruce Brown or Tim Hardaway, one of them are going to be open on the perimeter because of the shooting threat that all of them pose. So my first prediction that I want to go on the record as saying is for Cam Johnson this year, he is either going to be an all-star or an all-NBA player because of what Jokić is going to be able to provide with him and they're going to be a great pairing to work together and create spacing and create a lot of efficiency for Denver. I think it's going to work really well for Denver, frankly. I'll post a video right here talking about how Denver has changed throughout the years and what they need to do to get back to that championship form. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, but most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.